Salve te discipuli, and salve Miss Ice. Nice to have you as always. Alright, today's video is really, guys, just going to be an introduction of what's coming on a quiz on Thursday. So Thursday we're going to have a quiz over lesson 30. Okay? Here is what's coming on the quiz. First of all, there will be a vocabulary section. Just the lesson 30 vocabulary. Now, remember that I am demanding that you know the entire dictionary entry for vocabulary. Here's what a quiz question might look like. Let's just call this question number 1. I might give you something like this. Audiunt. Then I'm going to give you one big fat space following it. Okay? On the previous quiz, I divided it up. This time, it's going to be tougher. You're going to give one big fat line. Then your job is to fill in that line with the full dictionary entry of the word. Audio, audire, audivi, auditum. And then the meaning. Here. If a word has more than one English meaning, you only need to mention one of them. But you do need this full dictionary entry. Now the way the points work on this, which you may have realized from the quiz you just got back today, this entire Latin entry is worth a half a point. If you make any mistake here, you lose that half point. The meaning over here is worth a full point. So it is obviously more important to get the meaning, but I also want you to have a handle on the full dictionary entry. Remember, one big line this time. I'm not going to make it clear how many parts the Latin word has. So that's your vocab. The second section is going to be on fourth conjugation verbs. Here, you will have to translate the verb based on its subject, voice, and to a lesser extent, its tense. So, for example, you might see a question like this. Let's stick with that same word. All right, audimur, then you get a big blank. And in this section, you need to translate it based on its subject, which is we, and the fact that it's passive because we got more here. So I would translate this, we are being heard. Okay, this is just like the quiz we took today. So review your fourth conjugation. You've already had practice. Review it, and you'll be in great shape. Note that for this one, you will not have a word bank because your word bank, all the words that could be used, is already contained in the vocabulary you are studying for this quiz. All right, number 3, you're going to translate some time constructions. All right, you have learned 2 time constructions. You've learned the accusative of extent of time, that's our new one, and you've learned the ablative of time when or within which. So what does that mean? If it's an accusative time construction, you're going to translate it for. If it's an ablative time construction, you're going to translate it in, within, or at, and then the time. Let's look at a couple examples. If I give you duas horas, like this, you need to recognize that's accusative, so you're going to translate it for 2 hours. If, on the other hand, I give you something like this, secunda hora, so the same word, right? Horas, hora, same word. This time it's an ablative. Okay, so if you get a question like this, you need to recognize its ablative and translate it appropriately. All right, in, within, or at. So for this one, I would say in the second hour. In terms of vocabulary for this section, I will deliberately be choosing words that you've seen recently, whether they were in examples I gave, or in the examples in the text, or in the exercises in the text. I will deliberately choose words you've seen recently. Okay, that's section 3 of this quiz. Excuse me. And section 4. Be prepared to handle these accusative of extent of space. Okay, these are really easy. Just remember this: millipassus, excuse me. Okay, millipassus. There's a second S in there. Millipassus means 1,000 paces, which is really equal to 1 mile. Okay, you don't really have to be aware of this, but this happens to be in the accusative because that's how you express extent of space, 1 mile in the accusative. Consider this other possibility. We might see something like this. We might see duo millia passuum. That's 2 thousands of paces, which is equal to 2 miles. So all you have to do is be able to do what I just did here. Recognize this is 1,000 paces, 1 mile, 2 thousands of paces, 2 miles. That's it. Alright, now, tomorrow in class, we're going to do some more translating because we need to practice, and we're also going to have a derivative competition. And that derivative competition is going to be based on the Lesson 30 vocabulary. So, this video is very short. You should spend some time right now, since you have your book, you should spend some time studying the vocabulary in anticipation of Thursday's quiz and in anticipation of this derivative competition tomorrow. That is all I have for you. Wale te discipuli, Wale Miss Ice, good to see you as always, and I'll see you guys in class tomorrow.